The hidden costs of financial independence.
Ever dreamed of being financially free? Working when you want, living where you want, buying whatever you want, or at least whatever your Excel spreadsheet approves? Yeah, Instagram sells financial independence like it is an endless life of private jets, Parisian coffee, and golden hour smiles. But the truth? It is a little less champagne and a lot more instant noodles pretending to be gourmet. Today, we are diving into the hidden costs of financial independence. Those little things nobody posts on Reels, but that show up in your life faster than your credit card bill? Get ready to find out. How to swap open bar for open savings account? Why your Friday nights might end with spreadsheets instead of people? And how to travel the world without leaving Google Street View? This video is not for people who want to live in denial. It is for those who want to laugh and cry at the same time, while realizing that freedom comes with a price, and it is not always in dollars. So stick around until the end, because besides laughing at your own misery, you will also see that yes, it is worth it. But only if you are ready to trade glamour for discipline and applause for silence.
Goodbye, fine dining. Hello, gourmet instant noodles.
You know that scene in the movies where the newly financially independent person is casually sipping a glass of wine on a balcony overlooking the ocean? It's perfectly tanned, wearing linen clothes that somehow never wrinkle. Just let me burst that bubble for you. In real life, your first taste of financial freedom is not the delicate aroma of truffle oil in a Michelin-starred restaurant. It is the salty, MSG-infused perfume of instant noodles you bought in bulk because they were on sale. And let us be honest, they are the cheapest per calorie option in the entire supermarket. But here's the part nobody tells you. You will actually convince yourself that this is fine dining. You will dress it up literally and figuratively. Maybe you will throw some leftover frozen peas in there to add freshness. You will sprinkle oregano like you are auditioning for MasterChef. Of course, you will drizzle a little olive oil, the extra virgin one, because you are not an animal, and call it Mediterranean-inspired cuisine. Why? Because financial independence is less about what you can buy and more about what you can endure. When you first start chasing financial independence, you imagine that cutting back on luxuries is a temporary sacrifice, a small price to pay while your money works for you. You think, okay, maybe I will cook at home more often. Skip a few Starbucks runs. Maybe downgrade from sushi to poke bowls. No big deal. Wrong. You will go far beyond that. You will enter survival mode, gourmet edition. That means saying goodbye to just one drink after work because you know that drink is basically stealing from your future self. That means looking at a $15 avocado toast and thinking, that is literally 3 packs of noodles, 6 bananas, and a loaf of bread. And when you do allow yourself to go out for a nice dinner, you will be too busy calculating the opportunity cost of every bite to actually enjoy it. This risotto is good, but was it worth delaying my retirement by 3 days? Over time, instant noodles stop feeling like a budget meal and start feeling like a lifestyle choice. You even develop brand loyalty, which is hilarious because you started out buying whatever was cheapest. Eventually, you'll have a mental ranking system. Tier 1, the treat yourself noodles. Maybe they have real dehydrated vegetables inside, not just that mystery powder packet. Tier 2, your standard go-to, cheap, reliable, never lets you down. Tier 3, it is the end of the month and rent is due, emergency stash. You will learn tricks to keep them interesting. Eggs, hot sauce, sesame oil, leftover chicken, the works. You will even post a photo on Instagram with the caption, "Simple Pleasures," because you have fully embraced the delusion. The noodle lifestyle is not just about food. It is a social filter. Suddenly, when friends invite you to dinner, you start being busy more often. Or you suggest cooking at home instead, and guess what is on the menu? Yes, noodles. And here's the kicker. People start associating you with your frugal habits. You are not John, the funny guy from college anymore. You are John, the guy who puts spinach in his ramen and calls it health food. At first it is awkward. You feel like you are missing out on social moments. But over time you realize something. You are saving money and you are saving energy. Overpriced drinks, no $50 bills for just a quick bite. Just you, your noodles, and your dreams of retiring before your knees give out. Here is the truth that makes people uncomfortable. Financial independence is not glamorous at the beginning. It is not supposed to be. You're literally trading short-term comfort for long-term freedom, and that means eating things that taste like they cost 27 cents. because they did. But here's where the magic happens. After a while, you stop seeing it as a sacrifice. It becomes normal. And that is when you know you are really in control. When you can look at a fancy restaurant and think, that is nice, but my noodles are faster, cheaper, and I can eat them in my pajamas. So yes, say goodbye to fine dining. Say hello to the humble noodle. Remember, every dollar you do not spend on that overpriced risotto is another soldier in your army of investments. One day those soldiers will fight for you, maybe even buy you a real dinner. Until then, pass the hot sauce.
Friends only in the WhatsApp group.
So, you thought financial independence would make you the life of the party? You imagined yourself saying things like, yes, I can join. I do not have to wake up early tomorrow while casually sipping champagne on a rooftop bar? A reality check. Your new Friday night plans involve sitting on the couch, wearing the same hoodie for the third day in a row, and laughing at memes in a WhatsApp group chat you have been ignoring all week. That is because while your friends are spending money like they are auditioning for a rap video, you are busy, not doing that. Why? Because every social outing is basically a booby trap for your bank account. One quick drink turns into 2 appetizers. A round of shots because we are celebrating something even though no one can remember what. And an Uber ride home that costs more than your monthly internet bill. You know you have reached peak frugality. When you start doing mental math the moment someone suggests going out, they say, let us grab dinner. And your brain instantly calculates. Transportation costs plus meal costs plus tip plus potential guilt purchase of dessert equals this is a no for me. Thank you. Instead, you make vague excuses. I have work to do. You do not. I am not feeling well. You feel fine. I will see if I can make it. Will not. The truth is, you have already decided that the cost of that night out equals at least 2 weeks' worth of groceries or an extra contribution to your investment account. In between drunken stories you will forget and dividends you will not, you choose dividends every time. At first, staying home feels weird. You scroll through your friends' Instagram stories of overpriced cocktails and dimly lit restaurant plates and think, maybe I am missing out. But then you remember that those same cocktails will be long gone tomorrow, and so will the money that paid for them. Meanwhile, you are sitting in your fortress of financial solitude, eating your perfectly measured portion of pasta because bulk buying saves money, and watching a documentary on compound interest. Exciting? The answer's no. Profitable? Absolutely. And here's the thing. Over time, people will just stop inviting you. At first, you feel offended, and you realize it is actually convenient. No more guilt about saying no. No more awkward explanations about why you cannot just live a little. You are free to live a lot in 30 years. Ah, yes, the WhatsApp group, your new best friend, and your replacement for actual human interaction. The group chat lets you be present without spending a dime. You can react to photos with emojis, type LOL at someone's bad joke, and send a random meme to prove you are still alive. The downside? It is a highlight reel of everything you are not doing. You will see beach trips, birthday parties, brunches, and think, maybe I should have gone. But then you remember that the entry fee for all that fun was your financial freedom. And suddenly, that meme you just sent feels like a bargain. Here's a fun twist. Some friends will take your frugality personally. They will say things like, you never come out anymore, or you are so boring now. You will smile politely and resist the urge to reply, yes, but I will retire 10 years earlier than you. Others will try to lure you out with phrases like, it will be cheap, it will not, or you deserve it. Financial ruin is not a reward. You will learn to say no with the precision of a surgeon. Quick, clean, and with minimal blood loss to the friendship. The real cost of financial independence is not just the money you save, it is the social life you lose, at least temporarily. But here's the plot twist. You start to like it. You realize that half the events you used to attend were out of obligation, not desire. You discover the joy of spending Friday nights exactly how you want, without worrying about splitting the bill or pretending to enjoy a DJ who plays remixes of songs you hated the first time. So yes, friends may fade, invitations may dry up, and your social calendar may look emptier than your old checking account. But in their place, you gain something better. Peace, focus, and a bank balance that actually grows. And when you do decide to rejoin the social scene, it'll be on your terms, and maybe even with enough passive income to pay for the drinks without flinching. Until then, see you in the group chat.
The luxury of saying no. And the boredom of staying home.
Remember when you first dreamed of financial independence? You probably imagined yourself hopping on a plane to Bali on a Tuesday, sipping cocktails on a white sand beach while answering emails from a hammock. You pictured sunsets in Santorini, breakfast in Paris, maybe a casual weekend in New York just because you felt like it. Reality check. The only sunsets you will see for a while are the ones on your computer screen, your courtesy of Google Earth's Street View. And breakfast in Paris? Yes, you can have it. Just change your laptop wallpaper to a picture of a Parisian cafe while you eat toast made from supermarket brand bread. Social media loves to pair the words financial independence with a passport full of stamps. You see influencers living their best life, working remotely from tropical destinations, and think, that will be me. What they do not show you is the credit card debt, sponsorship deals, and questionable investments that are actually funding those trips. When you decide to pursue real, sustainable financial independence, travel becomes a luxury you place on the top shelf, so high that you cannot reach it without a ladder made of dividends and capital gains. In the meantime, you will master the art of virtual tourism. Instead of booking flights, you will be booking library study rooms. Instead of checking in at resorts, you will be checking your brokerage account. Your vacations will look like this. Morning, watch a YouTube walking tour of Rome while making coffee in your kitchen. Afternoon, open Google Earth, zoom into Tokyo, and walk down the streets of Shibuya Crossing. Evening, read blog posts about the 10 best hidden beaches in Thailand, and tell yourself you will go there one day. It is not glamorous, but it is also not costing you thousands of dollars for a trip you will barely remember in 2 years. Friends will keep inviting you on trips. We're going to Cancun for the weekend. You have to come, they will say. You will smile, nod, and quickly calculate the total cost in your head. Flights, hotel, meals, transportation, souvenirs you will never use, and the inevitable we should just split the bill evenly moment at dinner. Then you will politely decline and receive the same reaction every time. Shock, pity, and that subtle judgmental pause that says, wow, you really are no fun anymore. But while they are buying overpriced cocktails in a tourist trap, you are buying shares of companies that will pay you for decades. Who is really winning here? Here's the uncomfortable truth. It will hurt at first. Watching other people's travel photos while you stay home feels like punishment. You will question whether all the sacrifices are worth it. You will wonder if you are being too strict, if maybe you should just live a little. But then you will remember that living a little now means working a lot later. And suddenly, that FOMO turns into what I like to call JOMO, the joy of missing out. You will start to enjoy the comfort of your own bed, the money staying in your account, and the fact that your skin is not peeling from sunburn in some overpriced resort. The funny part is, once you reach true financial independence, you can travel anywhere, anytime, for as long as you want. And you will do it without guilt, without debt, and without calculating the cost of every meal. But until then, you will travel through screens, through books, through documentaries, and you will realize something powerful. You do not need to be physically somewhere to learn about it, appreciate it, or even enjoy it. Yes, you will have fewer airport selfies and fewer spontaneous weekend getaways, but you will have something they do not: control. Control over your time, your money, and your future. And that is worth more than a trip to Bali you cannot afford. So for now, keep zooming in on Google Earth. Explore the streets of Paris without paying $8 for a coffee. Stroll through New York without smelling garbage in the summer. Swim in the crystal clear waters of the Maldives without worrying about getting sand in your laptop. Financial independence is a long game, and travel is the dessert you get to enjoy after the main course is served. Right now, you are still cooking the meal, and if that means your vacation is a desktop screensaver, so be it. Because one day, when you finally do buy that ticket, it will not be an escape from your life. It will be part of it.
Travels only on Google Earth.
One of the greatest selling points of financial independence is freedom. Freedom to work when you want, to say no to things you do not like, to choose how you spend your days. Sounds glamorous, does it not? You imagine yourself as a kind of rebel CEO, declining meetings, rejecting bad deals, and walking away from obligations with a smug smile and a perfect cup of coffee in hand. Here is the truth. They do not put on the motivational posters. Most of the time, the luxury of saying no looks like sitting at home in sweatpants, staring at a wall wondering if you should clean the kitchen or reorganize the bookshelf for the third time this week. When you first start saying no to things for the sake of your financial goals, it feels incredible. Invitations to expensive dinners? No. Overpriced vacations? No. Random Amazon purchases at midnight? Absolutely not. You feel like a monk who has unlocked some higher state of discipline? It is empowering for about a month. Then you realize that while you are saving money, you are also slowly draining your social calendar, your list of hobbies, and your daily excitement. The satisfaction of saying no is strong, but it does not come with a Netflix special or a cheering audience. It comes with a quiet Friday night, a glass of tap water, and the faint sound of your neighbor's party through the wall. You thought financial independence would fill your life with meaningful activities. What you did not anticipate is how much of your old meaningful activity was actually just spending money. Without restaurants, shopping trips, concerts, or overpriced coffee shop visits, you suddenly have vast amounts of free time and absolutely no idea what to do with it. So you try productive things. Reading, cooking, learning new skills. You reorganize your budget. You read 3 blog posts about index funds. And then, at some point, you find yourself scrolling through the same news headlines for the 4th time in an hour because, frankly, there is nothing else going on. When you start turning down invitations, people stop inviting you. It is not personal. They just assume you will not come. At first, this hurts your feelings. Then it becomes oddly convenient. There's no more awkward explanations about why you cannot just come for one drink. No more peer pressure to treat yourself. But here's the catch. When you do get invited, you might find yourself saying no automatically, even to the rare events you actually want to attend. It is as if your brain has gotten addicted to the comfort of your couch. Eventually, you realize you are not only saving money, you are saving yourself from any form of spontaneity whatsoever. This is where the boredom creeps in. You start asking yourself uncomfortable questions. Am I being disciplined, or am I just being boring? Am I making smart financial choices, or am I missing out on my own life? Will I look back and regret the years I spent protecting my savings instead of creating memories? And here is the uncomfortable answer. Sometimes, both are true. You are building something amazing for your future, but you are also sacrificing things in the present. The trick is accepting that this is part of the process, that the boredom is temporary, but the financial freedom you are building is permanent. The real luxury of financial independence is not the power to say no to things you hate. It is the ability to say yes to the right things at the right time, without checking your bank balance first. But to get there, you have to go through the awkward, lonely, boring phase, where your main source of entertainment is figuring out if you should put an extra $5 into your investment account this month. So yes, you will have nights where your plan is literally to stay home and watch paint dry, possibly because you just painted the living room yourself to save money. You will feel bored, restless, maybe even a little resentful. But remember, every no you say today buys you a lifetime of yes later. And when that day comes, the best part will not be the trip you take or the restaurant you splurge on. It will be knowing you paid for it in full. In cash, without touching a single investment. That is the kind of luxury no one can take away from you. Till then, enjoy the wall.
The loneliness of not being in the rat race.
Most people fantasize about leaving the rat race. No more alarm clocks at 6 a.m., no more traffic jams, no more answering passive-aggressive emails from your boss. You imagine stepping out of that endless loop and into a peaceful, self-designed life. And yes, it is peaceful. It is also very, very quiet. What no one warns you about is that once you step off the hamster wheel, you suddenly realize that almost everyone you know is still running in it, and they are running so fast that they barely have time to notice you are not there. In the beginning, it feels like you have discovered a secret. While your friends are complaining about deadlines and office politics, you're sipping coffee in your kitchen, feeling smug and free. But slowly the conversations start to drift. They talk about promotions, new projects, annoying coworkers. You nod politely, but you have nothing to add. Your big news this week is that you refinanced a loan at a lower interest rate or finally maxed out your retirement contribution. It's thrilling stuff, but not exactly the kind of story that makes people lean in. Your friends are busy during the day, they're busy during the week. They are busy during the weekend too, because that is when they cram in chores, family time, and whatever self-care they can afford before Monday. Meanwhile, your schedule is wide open. You are available for coffee at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday, but no one else is. At first, you enjoy the freedom. You walk around the city when everyone else is stuck in an office. You run errands without lines. You feel like you have hacked the system. But then the novelty wears off and you realize you are spending a lot of time alone. The price of escaping the rat race is that you also escape the pack. There is a specific smile people give you when you talk about your financial independence. It is part admiration, part confusion, and part disbelief. They say things like, "That is amazing. I wish I could do that." But what they are really thinking is, "That sounds boring, and I do not want to give up my daily latte." Some friends will treat you like a curiosity, others will treat you like you have joined a cult, and a few will quietly resent you because your life is proof that theirs could be different if they made different choices. And that is not a thought everyone wants to entertain. Here is the twist. There will be moments when you miss it. Not the stress, not the politics, but the camaraderie, the shared misery, the sense of being in it together. When you are outside the race, you do not have that built-in network anymore. No shared Monday complaints, no inside jokes about the boss, no group lunch breaks to look forward to. Instead, you have long stretches of time where it is just you and your thoughts. And while that can be liberating, it can also be lonely. You begin to understand why some people keep working even after they have enough money to stop. Not for the paycheck, but for the people. Here's the thing. Loneliness is temporary if you choose for it to be. Once you adjust to life outside the rat race, you start building a new circle. One that is not based on shared corporate suffering, but on genuine interests and choices. You meet people who are also designing their lives intentionally. Connect with others who understand that freedom is worth a little solitude in the short term. Financial independence is not just about escaping something. It is about creating something better in its place. And yes, that means you will go through phases where it feels like you are on your own. But that is the price of building a life that is truly yours. So yes, you will miss the noise sometimes. You will even miss the chaos. But when you realize you can choose to step into it or step away from it anytime you want, that is when you understand you have actually won. Because in the end, the real victory is not just leaving the rat race. It is knowing you never have to run in it again.
Financial freedom isn't free. It's just really, really expensive in misery.
So here's the ugly truth. Financial independence is not a glossy postcard with beaches and champagne. It is noodles in bulk, skipped parties, trips through Google Earth, and weekends that look more like solitary confinement than freedom. It is the art of saying no until no becomes your default personality trait. And yet, this is the part no influencer will ever put on a motivational poster, because nobody clicks like on boredom and sacrifice. But here's the punchline. Those boring nights, those cheap meals, and those awkward moments are not punishment. They are the entry fee to the only kind of freedom that actually matters. The kind where your future is not chained to a paycheck or a boss you secretly hate. So yes, financial independence is messy, lonely, and occasionally humiliating. The question is not whether it costs you something. The real question is whether you are tough enough to pay the price, or if you would rather keep renting your life by the hour while scrolling past people who did.